Hello, this is John Locke, and today I'm answering an interesting question that I saw in a Facebook forum. And the question goes like this. By day, I sell cars at a car dealership, and what I'd like to do is become a local authority in blogging, and I'm guessing the goal is to bring people to the car lot. So this person, they live in a city of 50,000 people, and the neighboring city is about 15 miles away. It's about 300,000 people. So it's a good mid-sized city. And so the person is asking the question, like, let's say, for example, that I want to write an article about this type of car and a specific feature that's in it in 2019. Part of the problem that I thought about that I was going to have is that I'm going to be competing with all these big brand sites like Car and Driver, Cars.com, the actual model of the car, their website, all these different ones. And I agree that that's true. You're going to be competing with them. But this person is trying to figure out how can they skew the search results for local. So there's a couple things that you can probably do to make this happen, but all of these are going to be long-term strategies. None of them are going to be short-term strategies. Because if the goal is to bring people to the car lot, the end goal, and to make yourself as a local authority, an authority on cars in your local community, there's a couple different paths that you can go. Now, one path that you can go is something that I see in a couple markets. I know in our local market, there's a block of time on the radio stations, Saturday mornings, where pretty much anyone who wants to pay to have a show can have a show. And there's various shows. There's one for financial advice. There's all kinds of different ones, but one in particular that's been running a long time is this guy called Car Czar. And he takes live questions on the air. He runs a couple auto repair shops here in town, but that is a way that he has done both local, being known locally, and being known as a car expert. Now your goal is to sell the cars and not necessarily do repairs on them, maybe maintenance service later on down the line, but you got to get them sold first. So that's one thing that you could do, but it's probably going to cost something to book the time for the radio station in your market. But that's something that you could consider. Another thing that you could do, and I think you suggested this, was to do a YouTube series on the model of cars or the particular cars that your lot sells, and talking about the features, talking about things like that. That's definitely a way that you could go. Put it on YouTube and become known as an expert on that model of car, that make and model of cars. And also be known in your local community. So that's definitely a direction you can go. Another direction that you might go, taking inspiration from a web series, a YouTube channel, Comedians in Cars Driving Coffee, or Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee, where Jerry Seinfeld, what he does, the gimmick of the show is each episode he'll go pick up another comedian, and they'll go out to coffee at the person that he's picking up, their favorite spot. He'll be driving a vintage car, so each time it's a different vintage car, and they'll just talk about comedy. But here's the kicker. This is just very clever content marketing, because in the middle of each of these, it says like, hey, this episode is being sponsored by Acura. So basically this is it's almost like a TV show, but it's made for the web. It's made for YouTube. But Acura is the sponsor. And so you're sucked into the content and you're watching this, and there's vintage cars, so that's cool. Everybody likes comedians, so that's cool. But then, you know, while you're watching it, Acura makes their commercial there in the middle and at the end. So you might consider doing something like that, maybe bringing people once a week into the car lot, into the offices there, and filming an episode with people out of the local community, people who are notable business leaders, or, you know, whatever it is that you decide on. You could do something like that, and then just say this is being sponsored by the car lot that you run. So the last thing that you could do is the traditional method that you're suggesting. So what you might end up doing is blogging about the specific model and the specific make of cars that you specialize in, that you're selling at the lot. And yes, you will be going up against Edmunds and the actual car website that you deal in, and you'll be going against Car and Driver and everything else. But if you can establish yourself as an authority on that specific make and model, that product line, that car line, then you will rank nationally for some of those long tail searches. But also what's going to happen by going head to head with those brands on a long-term trajectory is you will rank locally as well. Because I think that you're correct in assessing that no matter what you do when it comes to blogging about the specific features in a specific model and make of a car, you're going to be going head to head. But I think those long tail articles, those very specific feature things, is a way to go, and you're going to be competing with a lot of people. But if you stay at it for several years, then you will rank nationally, but you're also going to be known as the go-to guy in your region. And I think that that's the way to go. I don't think that there's a short-term solution to this, especially if you're just starting to blog. I don't believe that there's a short-term way to win this battle. I think every solution is long-term, and I think all of these are viable ways to boost your name, to boost the name of your car dealership. So those would be things that I would explore. I hope that gives you some ideas. My name's John Locke. My business is Lockedown Design and SEO, and we help manufacturing and industrial firms with SEO so they get more requests for quotes. And if you have an SEO question, leave it in the comments below. We'd be happy to answer it in a future video. And we're publishing every day, so we'd love to see you subscribe. Until next time, peace.